Where are the adults in the room? That's a natural question that comes to mind when we hear about the latest mob at a college campus. Unfortunately, the answer may not be very comforting. That's because, rather than protecting free speech against the mob, all too often, administrators at public universities and colleges are right there in the middle of the crowd, sometimes even inciting violence against speech and speakers they don't like. Take a recent situation at University of Pittsburgh, where students from the Intercollegiate Studies Institute and the university's College Republicans chapter organized a debate on the topic, "Should transgenderism be regulated by law?" Featuring libertarian journalist Brad Palumbo and conservative podcast host Michael Knowles, the moderated debate was to be followed by 30 minutes of Q&A and a 40-minute meet and greet for attendees to meet Knowles. At first, the university said student organizers would be responsible for around $2,000 in security costs. And just a week before the event, however, officials hiked up the estimate to $16,925. Why? Well, a glance at the ongoing stream of messaging flowing from administrators to students would give you a hint. More than a month before the event, which took place April 18, 2023, the university issued a press release calling it toxic and hurtful for many people in our university community. Days later, Provost Ann Cudd referred to a recent speech by Knowles as repugnant and hate-filled rhetoric, and a message she sent the Pitt community. And less than a week before the event, a professor advised her students that her department, along with many other departments, students, faculty, and staff at Pitt, strongly condemns this event and has called on the university to cancel Knowles' appearance. Unfortunately, it looks as though the event is still scheduled to take place, the professor conceded, while inviting students to participate in several events planned to protest Knowles' unwelcome presence on campus on the day of the scheduled debate. Given the university's language, it's no wonder that an angry mob of hundreds assembled to violently shut down the event. Rather than dispersing or even restraining the rioters, Pitt police officers allowed them to occupy the street and come within striking distance of attendees peacefully entering the event space. Attendees were assaulted with smoke bombs, while the unruly protesters used a road flare to burn Knowles in effigy. Under these chaotic, dangerous circumstances, the event had to be cut short. But even then, with officials themselves fomenting the violence and then failing to deliver a basic level of safety, the university again raised its price tag to nearly $19,000. In response, Alliance Defending Freedom attorneys sent a letter to university officials on the student group's behalf, urging the university to cover its own costs, take responsibility for sparking unrest, and make needed changes to campus policies aimed at protecting free speech going forward. Unfortunately, Pitt isn't the only place where administrators have shirked their duty to protect free speech and fueled the fires of violence instead. At San Francisco State University, administrators sided with a violent mob over female athlete Riley Gaines. Rioters had forced Gaines to barricade herself in a room for almost 3 hours after she was swarmed and physically assaulted. Shockingly, officials expressed solidarity with those committed to violence and intimidation, while campus police, under orders from administrators, made no arrests. This has long been a major problem on university campuses. Even as far back as 2017, one UCLA professor found that over half of university students believe that shouting down a speaker is an appropriate response to ideas you don't like, and almost 20% believe that violence is justified in these scenarios. In just that year, irate campus mobs lashed out in violence against speakers at California State University at Los Angeles, Claremont McKenna College, and Middlebury College in Vermont. Over time, this aggressive cancer has even spread to the nation's top 2 law schools, Yale and Stanford. That's a new low that should trouble us all. University campuses should be a marketplace for ideas, not a factory for ideological conformity, a venue for thoughtful dialogue, not a street fight ruled by the mob and the Heckler's veto. Administrators need to get that right, and they need to do so before it's too late. To find out what Alliance Defending Freedom is doing to protect and restore free speech on campus, visit adflegal.org. You can find more videos like this at adflegal.org/freedom matters. And while you're here, click like on this video and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode.